Hello and welcome back to Jan's Views on Crime, Jay Slater, Twitter comments. Guys, they've started talking about him again, and do you want to know why? It's because of Mark Williams Thomas. Because Mark Williams Thomas has finally put out, like, I don't know how many he's going to do, but this is like part one of his expose. Where is it? An expose? Not really. If it's an expose, then you expose things, you know, normally that other people don't know about. We all know about it. The only person who doesn't know about it is Mark Williams Thomas. But anyway, I digress. I did have a quick look at Wax's video about it. Go over there if you want to hear every, you know, what was actually said on this podcast. Then go over and see Wax. I'm just here to just give my opinion, to just, you know, show how I feel about it, and yeah, that's it really. That's all I do. But I'm telling you what, one thing's for sure, I'm not paying to listen to Mark Williams Thomas. So did you know, guys, it's behind a paywall, which means you got to pay. You got to pay, how much is it? £3 an episode or something? No, I thought he can whistle for that. So anyway, let's have a quick gander together, because as the title says, this is about the Twitter comments. So I had a quick look. I was over there like a shot. I had a quick look to see, and we've got a few other people talking about it. 8 hours ago, we've got someone called Madeline Case Tweets, and they've said, with so many involved in criminal activity in the Jay Slater case, it really muddles the water, or muddies the water. It certainly does that, doesn't it? I mean, God, you couldn't. Anyway, and then underneath that, somebody has put, I've no idea where this leaves the 10k stolen watch theory. Perhaps it never existed, and Jay Slater just said it did to placate people he may have owed money to. Possibly borrowed cash for clubbing and drugs. Seems the stolen cat was the reason he wanted to leave Masca urgently. Question mark. Listen, I've just read, I've read it, or I've heard it somewhere, that apparently another theory is that Jay was like out of his head on Ket, and that was one of the reasons he wanted to run away. I don't know. There's so many theories, guys. I'm actually getting quite lost in it, which isn't unusual for me. So, okay, so we've got somebody, it's Madeline Case Tweets again, saying fantastic work from Mark Williams Thomas, and article by Nick Pisa on Jay Slater. All right, bullet points. Jay armed himself with knives. Okay, because we didn't know that, did we? We hadn't heard that. Jay stole large stash of Ket from Ayub. Do we believe that? Do we? And number 3, a fulled mission. A drug-fulled mission. I don't know. I honestly don't know. So let's go down here. Now, this is. If you're used to these Twitter comments videos, you'll know that I do a big up to justice for Nicola Bulley and others. Here, she says 15 hours ago, Mark Williams Thomas claims he spoke to a drug dealer who said it's mainly Moroccans who deal drugs in Tenerife. Lucy Law still claims she had no idea Jay Slater's inquest was taking place. Yeah, right. The events and build-up affected her life for the past 12 months, and she didn't know. Listen, I don't think... Get your words out, Jan. Did it really affect her life? Yeah, all right, I believe it. Thousands wouldn't. Right, 15 hours ago, Justice for Nicola Bulley has put... Mark Williams Thomas believes there was no third-party involvement in the death of Jay Slater and that Jay was paranoid. Really? She goes on, a reporter recently visited Tenerife and was offered drugs, cocaine, MDMA, ecstasy and cannabis within 10 seconds of stepping out of the taxi in Tenerife. Really? All right. Well, I hope that's not true because one of my daughters went to Tenerife a few years ago, but she did go, and I can't imagine that she was like approached to buy any of these drug things. Ugh, I wouldn't have thought so. I've been very lucky with my kids, guys. They've managed to stay on the right side of the law, all of them, and they've managed to stay on the right side of living life. Thank goodness for that. Right, 16 hours ago, she's put vile messages received by Debbie. Jay Slater's mum turned out to be from a 15-year-old schoolboy from Bournemouth, claiming Jay was being held hostage and later killed. Did you know about that, guys? I think I've got a vague memory of hearing that before. So I'm going to click on this now. I don't know where she's got this from. Where's she got this from? Anyway, so I'll read it for you. Jay Slater's mum received horrific messages online while the search was taking place in Tenerife for her son. Debbie Duncan was sent doctored images which claimed to be of Jay and later found to be fakes. Oh, God. Do you know there's some really sick people out there? Isn't there? Oh. So the former detective said Debbie also got contacted on several occasions by someone claiming to be holding Jay hostage and threatening to harm him. Unbelievably, this person went on to send another text to Debbie the day after Jay's body had been found, claiming to have killed Jay and describing the injuries he had inflicted on him. Like with the other horrible messages sent to Debbie, we investigated the sender and were able to trace that the individual was a 15-year-old boy from Bournemouth. What is wrong with these people? Seriously? What is wrong with some of these people? It's a frightening world we live in, guys. Isn't it? Anyway, so I don't know where this is coming from. I'm sorry, guys. Not doing a good job, really. So here it says the remote region of Masca, near where Jay Slater's body was found, is notoriously rugged and treacherous. Well, we heard about that, didn't we? From that reporter. Do you remember? Yeah, the one that sort of went off on to Tenerife on a jolly and didn't have a clue what was going on. Yeah, that one. Yeah, he was going on about how dangerous everything was over there. Yeah, all right, mate. Yeah, and so that's kind of where it all started, and it just picked up so much traction and so much interest that journalists from publications all over the UK flew out there, and I was one of the first people that arrived. Well, give yourself a gold star. He sat there with his new haircut. Right, so then he says, I was there, I think about 2 days after he'd been reported. as missing. So it was very, very early days. Police investigation had only really just started, and there was still a lot of unanswered questions around the entirety of the case, really. And it was only then, bit by bit, that kind of new pieces of information started to come to light. And it was and it very much unravelled as we were there. Um, Okay, so, all right. So maybe he's going to explain to us about the unravelling of the case. Go on, go for it, James. Go for it, lad. So, yeah, we sort of went into it. I certainly went into it very blind, really, to begin with, because all of us did as journalists that had gone, of God, what? Maybe you stay over here, love. So the tiny hamlet clings to the rocky outcrops of northwestern Tenerife in the far-flung, oh God, I've got to read this, Park Rural de Teno, with locals calling it the Lost Village, as it didn't even have a road connection until the 1990s. Who's writing this? Who's written this? It is one of the most remote parts of Tenerife, and in the past few years, more rescues have been carried out there than anywhere else in the Canary Islands, according to the website of the Masca Visitors Centre. Well, that's weird because I had a look at that. I've actually done a little bit of research on Masca, and it doesn't look that remote to me. There's always walks going on. There's always hikes, and it seems to be quite a busy little hamlet. But anyway, that's the problem. In this story, there are so many contradictions. Who do we believe? Who do we believe? Anyway, speaking at the time of his at his disappearance, a worker at the visitor centre in Masca described the remote area, saying, "There's a lot of people that usually get lost here. There's a lot of forest. We've already had a lot of news of tourists getting on trails they shouldn't have and getting lost. I've seen a lot of helicopters flying around the rural park for years." Well, he obviously doesn't work for the tourists board, does he? Jeez Louise. Right, so let's move on to here quickly. I wish I could tell you where this came from. God, sorry guys. Toxicologist Dr. Stephanie Martin also told the inquest last month that more than one drug was present in Jay Slater's body. Well, we know that, don't we? We do know that, sadly. Although tests when someone who has been dead for some time are extremely challenging, she determined. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, God. If he's supposed to have been out there for, like, the best part of a month, then obviously it's not going to be easy to determine anything from his body. God rest his soul. So, yeah, so there's a talk he had ecstasy in his system at the time of his birth. Of his death. God knows how they discovered that. Also present was a cocaine, metabolite. See, I know nothing about drugs. I know nothing. Praise the Lord. Which is present when cocaine is taken at the same time as a consumption of alcohol. Well, yeah, okay. That again is believable, isn't it? Because we saw how out of it he was on the night at the club. So yeah. Dr. Martin says it is impossible to say exactly when Jay took the drugs. Oh yeah. But it's likely within a day or so of his death. The Spanish authorities also carried out their own toxicology tests on Jay's body. Dr. Martin said the only difference between our results and their results is that they found ketamine and its metabolites. I think the metabolites, does that mean? And its metabolite, so like other bits to do with it, I don't know. So have we got time? Quickly, we've got time here. where they're saying Jay's Slater body was found at a ravine near the village. Yeah, we know that. And it's saying that he died of a head injury. Do we believe that? No. He added that the teen had sustained severe injuries before concluding the official court. Yeah, I think we know that. He said the injuries were so severe, I have no doubt he would have been instantly unconscious from the moment of that blow to the head. Yes, but does that mean it was a blow to the head because he fell off these mountains, or was he already dead before he went over the side, or before he was placed there? Yeah. Death could well have been instant. The injury was so severe. Jay would undoubtedly be unconscious and unaware. It's most likely the death would have occurred instantly or extremely soon afterwards. How much do these people get paid? They shouldn't get paid anything. I'm telling you. I mean, anyone with any blowing ounce of common sense could work that out for themselves, couldn't they? Anyway, I didn't even get on to what Mark Williams Thomas said because I went on that. That's the problem, you see. When you go on Twitter, there's so many different threads, and before you know it, you're reading like a completely different thing that you didn't even expect to read. So before I go, I'm just going to tell you the next video I do is going to be more about what this Mark Williams Thomas had to say, and all this stuff is coming out with. If you want to get a clearer idea about the podcast that I'm refusing to pay for, check out Wax. Check out Wax Unfiltered because he goes over it so much better than I do. So, yeah, I'm going to try and get another one out for you very quickly. The thing is, this Justice for Nicola, she's putting out all these things, and I don't know where they're coming from, guys, and that's stressing me out a little bit. Anyway, okay, that'll do for now. Have a fantabulous weekend. Actually, it's only it's Friday. Oh, God, it's Friday the 13th. Be careful, all right? Just be careful. Do I have to drive anywhere tomorrow? Nah, I think I'm just going to walk round to the corner shop. It'll be safe. You watch, I'll get hit down by the bus or something. Anyway, you take care of yourselves out there. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. And we'll have another look. We'll have another gander at Twitter. Maybe tomorrow. You take care of yourselves out there because, trust me, it's a rotten old world. So, until the next one. Bye-bye for now.